Hey guys. Alright, so I am Dr. Matthew Mejia, a licensed psychologist in the state of Colorado, and if this should make it outside of the clinic, this is just a reminder that this is a quickie training for the Pueblo Community Health Center on the SLUMS. The SLUMS is a different type of mental status examination. It comes out of St. Louis, and so SLUMS is St. Louis University Mental Status. You may be familiar with the mini mental status exam. That is not real good about giving information outside of radically strong symptoms in terms of neurocognitive impairment. The research has shown that the SLUMS and the MoCA are much better at detecting what we would refer to as a mild neurocognitive impairment. Neither the SLUMS or the MoCA really outperform each other, and so both of them are good viable options. You are allowed to use these instruments assuming that you have appropriate training. In this case, this is the appropriate training. So what we have that we're going to try to send with this video is this as a single printable document. This is the official SLUMS form. There are 2 instructions on there, though, that require a separate paper, and so we've reproduced that here. Okay. There's also questions that I've put that are of relevant information for you. The first one is just what is the present memory concerns. The next one is asking about a history of traumatic brain injury. And then the last one is just, is there any genetic history of dementia within the family? Okay. This is an easy walkthrough, and the scoring is incredibly simple. The first question is, what day of the week is it? And then you see if they get it right. There's a number with a circle that's offering you how many points. Here's where you put the points. That's important because some things give you 2 points, and there's one example that actually gives you no points. And so you simply work your way through. Number 4 is please remember 5 objects. Don't worry about the timing on this because this is based on how much time it's going to take you to get through to when you actually ask for those items back, that it will be sufficient time for our purposes. Okay? And you read things at just a really regular, normal pace. So for example, number 5 is a money question, and it's really just simple math. And so you would read it, you have $100, and you go to the store and buy a dozen apples for $3 and a tricycle for $20. How much did you spend? They'll answer. Then the next question is, how much do you have left? Right, so just real simple, normal, even pace. Okay. When you hit number 9, that's the clock face question, which is why that there's a circle that's been reproduced over here. The instructions are, this is a clock face. Please put in the hour markers and the time at 10 minutes to 11 o'clock. Okay, that you're allowed to repeat. It's important, though, that they give you the numbers, and so if you see them just put slash marks, tell them that you do need the numbers for that purpose. Okay. Then the next one that you're looking at that involves this is that you're saying please put an X on the triangle, and then you're going to ask which of these figures are the largest. Now it says the above figures, but it's best not to hand them this paper, and so that's why we're using the back. Okay. Now when you get to the end, this is just simple math. You're adding how many points they got, and then here is the scoring protocol. This is not what we refer to as normative data. This is a cutoff, and so it really is as simple as if you don't score enough points, we're seeing problems. And so it gives you a range for normal, which in this case is 27 to 30 points, a range for mild neurocognitive disorder, which is 21 to 26, and then dementia, which is 1 to 20. Mild cognitive disorder can be caused by a variety of issues, including, as I mentioned, traumatic brain injury. This can also be the precursor to further decompensation, which would lead to a label of dementia. This can help you facilitate your decision making if you feel like it's not patently obvious to you that this person has dementia. This can help guide that thinking and also give you something to put in the record that you use to help you with that clinical decision. All right, thank you guys.